Okay, Sajid, so you've been interning for the past semester, and could you please say what your full name is and where you were at school and what you were studying?
My name is Sajeda Hedarali. I study at McGill University. I just completed my Bachelor of Arts and Science with a major in biology and minors in international development studies and international relations.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm starting a Bachelor of Law at McGill University in the fall.
All right. What did you think about the interviews that you transcribed?
They were really interesting, and it was fascinating to see the commitment of the people at the Hisham Mubarak Law Center.
Yeah.
They were just so inspiring in their quest for human rights for their people and for just justice and to have a say, to be able to participate actively in what was going on.
Yeah.
It seemed really hard. There were some really difficult moments to get through, and they just persisted, and they were just so determined to do it. It was just really great to see those people working so hard for the cause they believed in.
Yeah, yeah. That's the part that gives me the most hope with all the crises that are still happening in Egypt. They're very determined.
And they do realize what's going on. They're realistic about the situation, and they don't give up hope. It's not as if they're just thinking that everything's great. They know there are problems, and they're actively working to solve them, and that's really interesting.
Yeah. And of the interviews that you worked on, what did you find most interesting about those particular people?
The first interview I worked on with Mr. Khaled Ali, towards the end, he mentioned one thing that I thought was particularly fascinating. He said that one of the criticisms that the center, the Hisham Mubarak Law Center, received a lot was that their work was political and not human rights work. And his answer was that anything they would do was political, and that the difference is that they weren't doing party work for like a specific political party. They were doing human rights work, but that human rights work had to be political. No matter what they did, they would be taking a political stance. And I thought that was a great answer to that criticism, which really in the end isn't one, because it's not an insult to be doing political work.
Well, in other words, standing up for rights is political.
Yes, exactly. And I think that was his point, and it was a great way to put it, and to say that yes, they are doing something political, but that doesn't mean that it's not human rights, and this is also true of human rights.
Yeah. And so Khaled Ali was a former director of the center, and he ran for president too.
Yes.
I don't.
The youngest candidate.
Right. At the time I interviewed him, no one had any idea he was going to be running for president a year later. But so 20 years from now, what do you think you're going to remember about this internship or the interviews you did?
Remember. I think I'm going to remember that there was more to what we heard in the news about the revolution. When we were just watching it on TV or reading articles about it, we would see just people gathering in the streets, and that was great, and that was people participating. But we wouldn't realize how much action really happened behind the scenes, and we wouldn't see all the committees that would form to support the protesters or to defend the ones that got arrested, or all the other thing that happened that we wouldn't see in the news. This internship gave me a glimpse to what was going on beyond the manifestations and the rallies in the street.
Right. How does this internship fit into your life plan, if you know what your life plan is yet?
Well, I don't know what my life plan is yet. I do have an interest in human rights, and even if I don't end up working in human rights, obviously if I do, this will be very useful, but even if I don't, I think it's a good thing to keep in mind, and to keep in mind that those struggles, that there are those struggles where we can still work to better our lives, and whether we're in Egypt or we're here in a country that doesn't have those issues, we still shouldn't give up, and we should always strive for something better and for a better society.
Yeah. Great. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No.
Okay, well, thank you for all your help.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay.